With approximately 3 to 4 billion daily coffee drinkers, coffee has become one of the most consumed beverages worldwide. Second only to crude oil, coffee holds the distinction of being the most sold commodity and is a topic frequently discussed, especially in the health, science, and biohacking trends of recent. And while many people believe coffee is beneficial for productivity and longevity, the question remains, what does coffee do for our relationships? And is deep love a possibility while one is caffeinated? As coffee has become synonymous with modern dating, the impact of caffeine on love and attraction demands examination. While there are studies that suggest that caffeine can influence the release of pheromones, which play a significant role in a mate selection, the transience of altered pheromone states raises concerns about long-term compatibility and relationship expectations. Now, coffee has been questioned in terms of safety and consumption ever since it was introduced to the Islamic world some 600 years ago. Another example is 18th century Sweden, where interestingly King Gustav III thought coffee was detrimental to public health and decided to investigate this claim by instigating a study. It involved two identical twins who were condemned to death. In exchange for reducing their sentence to life imprisonment, one twin was to consume 3 pots of coffee daily for a year, while the other would consume the same amount of tea. Surprisingly, at the end of the year, the twin who drank coffee was found to be healthier and stronger than his tea-drinking brother. After this, coffee was deemed healthy, and the ban on its consumption was lifted. But does physical strength and health mean that one is embodied, or does it mean that we are pushing ahead for the time being? Now, after the experiment King Gustav failed at, Sweden intermittently tried to restrict coffee consumption due to concerns with the country's high per capita drinking. And it isn't too strange. Out of all the countries I personally have traveled to, it is only in Sweden that I found a patient drinking coffee at 9 in the evening while complaining to me of their insomnia. Now, coffee dates have emerged as a popular choice for initial meetups between individuals seeking romance. But is it truly coffee that we want as the ideal drink, as a catalyst for building long-lasting, genuine connections? Let's see. Interestingly, it does seem that coffee consumption can affect the release of certain pheromones, which are chemical substances naturally produced by the human body that play a significant role in attraction and mate selection. Some studies suggest that caffeine intake may influence the production and release of specific pheromones, potentially altering the way individuals perceive and respond to each other's scents, thereby influencing their level of attraction. But the downside to an unusual pheromone state is that it does not last. On that gray, boring day, 500 days from now, the pheromones might not be there, but the expectation of a relationship might nevertheless remain. When it comes to choosing a long-term romantic partner, there seems to be something to say for doing it sober or without the interference of chemicals. For example, a couple of years back, the Scientific American published a story which stated that women generally pick partners who have dissimilar so-called MHC genes to them. If, however, the woman happens to be on birth control pills, she's more likely to pick a man who is similar to her in terms of MHC. And as a result, she's more likely to, cheat, break up, or divorce at a later stage should she get off the pill then. The issue with coffee during dates is that it is a stimulant that affects the body similarly to substances like cocaine or Adderall, although to a much lesser extent. Stimulants like these create an urgency, that emphasizes productivity, advancement, and beating the clock. Now, why would we insist on coffee for our dates, which are times when we strive to slow down and deeply connect with the person sitting across from us? Many individuals who have attempted to quit coffee claim it is an impossible task. Some assert they simply don't feel awake without their cup of coffee or energy drink. However, the subjective experience of feeling awake varies among cultures. The sense of wakefulness may be influenced by societal expectations that prioritize haste and productivity at any cost. Our feelings after reducing coffee consumption may be intertwined with guilt for not conforming to this performance-driven framework. Similarly, the energy boost we associate with coffee may not always translate to effective communication and genuine connection during coffee dates, precisely because we are less likely to pause and feel what it is that we actually want to communicate.